Welcome to Hope is Here, bringing hope to those struggling with life's difficult situations.
Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is GregJHorn, and one of the things I love about doing this program is I get to share about special ministries that are providing hope here in the Lexington, Central Kentucky area. And today you're going to hear about a wonderful, wonderful ministry that provides hope called Sleeping Lambs. And joining me with Sleeping Lambs ministry is Peggy Holman and Neil Heffelbauer. Peggy and Neil, welcome to Hope is Here.
Thank you.
So glad to be here, Greg. Thanks for having us.
Well, I got to experience this firsthand back last year, and I just couldn't wait to get our schedules together so I could have you on here. But Peggy, for those that aren't familiar with Sleeping Lambs, tell us about what Sleeping Lambs is and how to get started.
Okay. About 6 years ago, a lady that I know does this over in Winchester under a different name. And she had invited me to come join them, and I did for 2.5 years. And I'm telling you, it's just life-changing to watch those small children receive their first bed. You know, some cry, some laugh, and some are just in amazement. They don't know what to say. And I thought, you know, Fayette County doesn't have anything quite like that. And I went to my pastor at church, Neil, and I said, can we do this at our church? And he said, sure. So that's where we got started. And we've actually been doing it now for almost 2 years. We've completed 3 schools, and we've got 2 more getting ready to do in October of this year.
Well, Neil, Peggy obviously comes to you with this request. Talk to me about it from your end and the church's end. I'm helping get this Sleeping Lamb started here in Lexington area.
Well, I think at Church of the Savior, our missional focus is comes out of Acts 1:8, which says that you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. We do a lot with international missions, and it was really important and clearly on the heart of the Father to do something with what Peggy coined home mission, something here with kids in our own backyard that don't have beds. There's a very rich opportunity in Fayette County schools to bless children who don't have much, transitional families. Maybe they're in foster care, but they need some support. And so Peggy saw the need and felt the Lord stir, and she came to me. And so with eyes on our Jerusalem right here locally, we wanted to do something that would be a blessing to public schools and really bring school communities together to really just raise these kids up and make them feel special, but also meet a practical need of giving them a bed.
Well, I guess I was surprised, Peggy, when we partnered through Gardenside Christian Church, where I'm pastor, and you were helping out 2 elementary schools, James Lane Allen and Garden Springs Elementary. I guess I'm embarrassed to say this, but I just was surprised how many kids actually don't have a bed.
Isn't it amazing? Most people are just like you. I mean, it's amazing that we assume because we live in America and because we're a rich country that everybody has a bed, but that's not the case. So for those who don't have a bed, we go through the local FRC officers, which are the Family Resource Officers, and they tell us which children are sleeping on the floor. You know, I spoke with a little girl one time just before the event. We were out in the cafe giving them food. We give them a lot of food, and then we sugar them up with cupcakes, and then we send them out to get their bed, you know. So I asked her, I said, honey, where have you been sleeping? And she said, on the floor. You know, like that was normal. And I said, really? Do you get cold? And she said, well, I have learned to go get rags out of trash cans, and I can lay on the rags. You know, and my heart just broke, and I thought, oh my goodness. There's so many of them. There's so very many of them that I know that God sees the need and asks us to do this, and I'm going to do it. And I tell people all the time, it's just like an addiction. Once you see those babies get in their beds and the way they laugh and the way they cry, you just can't get over it. And I can't wait till the next event. Each time another one comes, and I think, whew, it's over now. But then there's another one coming right behind it. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that the schools have been so open to us, and without their help, we couldn't do it. You know, so these FRC officers are just so important to identify the children. We got to know the sizes. We give them backpacks. We give them a story Bible in the backpack. We give them pajamas and a week's worth of underpants and socks, toothbrushes and toothpaste. And we give them the backpack, and it's laying on their bed. And they get a bed in a bag. They get sheets and coverlet and pillows. And this year, there's a lady that I met while at the doctor's office whose daughter died at 14 years of age, and she had leukemia, and she gives away blankets to children that are in hospitals and other situations, and she has offered to give each child a blanket with it monogrammed from her daughter who's passed. And so I'm so thrilled that people see the need everywhere. They just don't know it. And she said to me, I had no idea. Of course, I had no idea about her blankets either. So it was a good thing that we met, we crossed, and it was just perfect. Neil can maybe explain more than what I'm doing right now. I don't mean to take up.
You're doing a great job.
Well, I think the thing, too, that was so special when I saw it done last year was that, not only you've got the bed, there's, a bedspread or a blanket, there's a theme, towards each child, the boys and girls. And you really focus on making it a special. It's not just a mattress and box spring, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, we try to get boys like Superman or Spider-Man, or I think one year we had sharks, and the boys loved that better than anything we'd ever had. And the girls, we get ponies and girly things, like that, and they love that. Oh my goodness, they love it. They just, we take that off of the beds. We have the beds made up, and we take that off the beds, put it in a black bag, and they take that home, and then we tell them, you go watch in the window. We will deliver these beds within an hour and a half. So you stand there and watch for them because you've got a bed coming. Obviously, they don't have any transportation for these beds, so we've arranged all that. And local help, this year Penske Trucks are giving me trucks for free. And normally those trucks would run me $700, and that's 2 beds. And when I look at money, I look at beds. How many beds can I get out of that? Because you begin becoming that mindset, And the police department's offered to send us some cadets to help us deliver this year, which is a blessing. Of course, the men from the church come. Our church tries to participate as much as possible and have done a wonderful job in that way. Of course, the beds have to be made up, and last year the Women's Junior League came and made up beds as well, and they have already asked, when I tell you it's addictive, they've already asked to come back and make up beds. When you see those children, it is life-changing.
I think that's one of the other things I love about this project is it is so collaborative. Multiple churches, multiple local organizations. Another partner that we've had for a long time is Oak Factory out in Nicholasville. They have helped us get access to the beds and provide them at cost so we can give them to the children. And so it's really been neat to see the community, churches, schools, some local business partners really step in and fill this need. The second thing I'll say, the first time I went, what struck me is, the kids don't know that they're getting a bed. Their families do. They have to know what's coming. They have to be prepared for it. The kids don't know that's what they're getting. And when we kind of set it up in a way at the event that either they walk into a room that they weren't in before, we pull back a curtain, and there are all the beds sitting, and one of the beds has their name on it. And we say, go and find your name. And so they walk up to it, and for the first time they see all these things, and they're kind of looking around like, do I have permission to even be here? But it's like, this is for you. That's your name. This is all for you. And that's such a special moment for those kids and for those families, because for some of them it's the most that they've had or seen or been given in their lives. And so that was very moving, and I think is moving for the adults. So the local partnerships, and then watching the response to the kids just go, this is all for me. And just for them to feel that extra special, really the love of Christ in the form of a bed. I mean, is what it's about.
That's
so
true.
It's really good.
A little girl said to me, I said to Karen Foley, who was one of the workers, and she said to her, that's my bed. And Karen said, is that your name? Of course, I make a big card. I mean, you couldn't miss it across the street, so they can take it home and hang it on the wall if they want to. And she said, yes, that's my name. Mm. And she said, well, then that's your bed. She said, I don't think so. They keep telling me I'm getting a bed, but I never do. Mm. So Karen came and got me, and I said, well, let's go ask her again. So I talked to her, and I said, sweetheart, that is your bed. I guarantee you. And you can follow the truck. We'll put you in one of the cars. Let you follow a truck if you want to see that bed delivered to your house, They just can't believe somebody cared enough about them that they would do what Neil's talking about, that the community cares that much about them because they feel a lot of times insignificant because they have less than other children. So our goal is to make them feel so special. We play games with them when they get there. And this year, we're going to have multiple situations going on. I hope to have the UK cheerleader girls, some of them have volunteers to come and wear their uniforms for them and share a little. And then I've asked for Spider-Man, and I've asked for Sleeping Beauty. We've been having trouble finding a man to wear Spider-Man. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
But we've had both of those will be provided to us. A lady that has Kentucky costumes here not in Lexington, but up in Winchester. She's got a website, and the lady that does it in Winchester contacted her, so she gave me her name, and she allows us to use those for free. Doesn't charge us anything. So the little girls are just overwhelmed with Cinderella walking around, and whoever we've got. Sometimes we've got Sleeping Beauty. And we'll take their picture if they want us to with the characters. So we've never had the cheerleaders before, so we're waiting to see. This is a UK country here. And so we're thinking the kids will really, and they're hoping to bring the UK animal, the cat, with them.
Yeah, wildcat.
So they can relate to that. I think at any age. These are up to 5th graders. So they can pretty much relate to it, I think. And we start at the age of 5 and go up to 11. Yeah. And that's been the highest we've ever gone. We would go to a 12-year-old if there was a reason to, and we don't, no child left behind. I tell the FRC, we don't care. We'll get the money to get the bed. We will get them a bed. Just you be sure you give me every child in this school that doesn't have a bed. It's an elementary school, but we want every child that doesn't have a bed, and we'll see to it that they get a bed.
Well, you do a great job. It was just a powerful event. We just provided the location. You all did all the hard part, right. But it was just a powerful thing for me to see, and to see expression on these kids' faces and their families when they've got this bed. And I'm sure there's people listening, Neil, if they want to get involved with that. What financial resources? Obviously, it takes money to do this. I know this has just kind of gotten off the ground the last couple of years and just kind of evolving more. But what's the best way for people to get involved and be able to participate?
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you, Greg, for that. Each bed that we provide to a child costs $350. And so that's kind of our estimate per bed that we need to raise. So far, the funds have really, the Lord has just provided for this event. He provides what we have needed. And so a lot of it's actually been passing conversations Peggy's had with people. So if you're out in the public and you're visiting Macy's, you might run into Peggy Holman talking about sleeping lambs. So some of it's been just, random conversations of people that the Lord has connected her to. If they want to give to support this effort right now, Church of the Savior is kind of sponsoring this event. So we run the finances through Church of the Savior. So on our website, www.churchofthesavior.net/give, when you go there, there's a drop-down box, and one of the drop-down options is Sleeping Lambs. And so you can give online in that way to Sleeping Lambs. As I said, $350 gets us a bed for a kid, and helps really put on the event. And so as long as the Lord continues to provide, we'll keep going to schools and doing this until every kid that's sleeping on the floor is no longer sleeping on the floor. And so that's the most key way to do it. They can also, give tangibly, physically mail to the the church and write Church of the Savior and then Sleeping Lambs on the memo, and that gets the finances to the right spot.
And no amount is too small.
No, that's true. Yep.
Not
every little bit helps.
That's right. Yeah. If it's $5, if it's $1, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about these children. And if they'll just mail it to the church, we've got another event coming up in March. So we're going to have about 60 to 65 this time. So you can only multiply that out and see how much money we're talking,
Mm-hmm.
So if people feel the need to send money, we're all about it because we could use it for March. We don't use it now. We can use it then for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, but I really hope you'll support this wonderful ministry called Sleeping Lambs. You're like driving, saying, hey, I can get that written down. With the podcast, we'll have the website there, churchofthesavior.net, that you can find out there, /give. I also have Peggy's contact information, so there's ways for you to get involved volunteer to financially support, and I really want to encourage you to do that. You talk about providing hope. It is a beautiful way of being the hands and feet of Jesus. For Neil Heffelbauer and Peggy Holman with Sleeping Lambs, I'm Greg Horn, and this is Hope is Here.
Thank you for listening to Hope is Here podcast. To listen to one of our previous programs or to make a tax-deductible donation, please go to our website, hopeishere.today. That's hopeishere.today.